Hey everyone, it's PokeConsumer, and today I'm going to be explaining why you should be playing Pokemon Go Battle League, and if you haven't before, how you can get started today. Before I begin though, I want everyone to go ahead and have an open mind and think of their Stardust and Candy as an investment that they can put into Battle League to get more. You should be playing Battle League for Stardust, Rare Candy, and potentially rare Pokemon spawns. Let me explain. No matter what league you're playing in, the rewards are always going to be the same. For example, Great League offers the same rewards as Master League or Ultra League. Don't get the league that you're playing in confused with your Go Battle League rank. Your rank is determined by how many wins you have, and it will go up the more you win. All ranks in the Go Battle League follow the same reward path. So, for example, in a set in the Go Battle League, you play 5 matches. Winning one match in that set will reward you with Stardust. Winning 2 in that set will reward you with a random item, which can either be a fast TM, a charged TM, 1 rare candy, or 3 rare candy. Winning 3 matches in a set will reward you with a random Pokemon spawn, which has a chance at being rare. Winning 4 matches in that set will reward you with a guaranteed 3 rare candy, and winning all 5 matches in your set will reward you with even more Stardust. And after completing your set, you'll get rewarded with bonus Stardust. So if you're curious about the Pokemon spawn, there is a pool of spawns, and the game randomly selects one from the spawn pool, and the spawn pools are determined by your rank. More rare Pokemon have a chance at spawning the further in ranks you go. For example, reaching rank 20 will give you the chance to encounter the current 5-star legendary raid boss. It's important to note that wins from previous sets don't roll over into the next set. So for example, if you have 3 wins in your first set, and then you go to your second set, you're not going to continue to have 3 wins progression into this set. You're going to start over from scratch again. The real rewards kick in on Thursday. Every Thursday, if you battle in the Go Battle League, you are winning 4 times the normal amount of Stardust, and you can play double the amount of matches. So instead of a normal 5 sets, 25 matches total, you can play 10 sets, 50 matches total, winning quadruple Stardust. Rare Candy isn't affected, it's just Stardust. So how can you capitalize off of this and start getting these rewards today? Assuming you're here because you are either a new player or just a low-level player, I've built this video into several steps that can help you through this process. But even if you're an experienced rank 20 plus battle leaguer, you can probably learn something from this next step, which is going to be my first one, team building. So remember how I said that you should think of Battle League as an investment? Well, team building is the first step, and this is where you start your investment. Invest Stardust and Candy into Pokemon that you're going to use for Battle League. And I know, you're already thinking you're either a new or a low-level player and you don't think you have anything good for Battle League. That's okay. You can start out small or with the best possible Pokemon that you have, or just Pokemon that fit around the CP cap. So, assuming you're a newer low-level trainer, you're not going to have Pokemon that can battle very well in Ultra League or Master League, and that's okay. Starting out on Great League is just fine. So, for my more experienced players, the tip I was going to offer is that I recommend downloading an app like Pogo Teams or simply searching Pokemon Go Team Builder so that you can see the current meta Pokemon that are thriving in each rank, and in apps like Pogo Team, you can insert the Pokemon that you already have and it will automatically generate you the best possible battle team for that rank, and you can switch it to fit how well the Pokemon synchronize with each other, or you can just straight up go for the best possible Pokemon, highest rank at that point in time. Now, chances are you don't have any of these Pokemon if you're new or low level, so you can still use this app or the team builders to generate you the best possible team with your current Pokemon. And after that, the next step is going to be move learning. Move learning is where this gets expensive, and you're going to have to start spending Stardust and Candy on the Pokemon that you have best. Now, you can probably win a few games with only one charged move, on your Pokemon, but having 2 is definitely the sweet spot. The more dust you put in order to get second charge moves on your Pokemon, the more games you're going to be winning, and therefore the more rewards you're going to be winning. This is why I say not to be stingy and to just go ahead and do it. And also, if you win, there's a high chance that the Pokemon that you win will end up being good in Battle League. For example, some of the reward Pokemon are Marill, which turns into Azumarill, which is an amazing Pokemon for Battle League. Frillish, which turns into Jellicent, which is an amazing Pokemon for Battle League. Even stuff that you don't even have to evolve, like Morpeko, are reward Pokemon that just dominate ranks like Great League. If you don't feel like any of the Pokemon that you have are worthy of spending extra Stardust on, or you just don't want to because you'd rather use that for trading or powering up Pokemon that you actually care about, that's fine, because regardless of how many you win, you're going to get rewarded Stardust at the end of the set, even if you don't win. So just playing the 5 sets a day can get you a bunch of Stardust, especially on Thursdays. Now, the next step might seem a little basic or stuff that you should already know, but type matchups are extremely important in Battle League. You have to understand which types are super effective against what types and which types you resist. Building a team with well-balanced types is always good because it gives your team coverage. With type matchups, you're going to soon find out in Battle League that certain Pokemon counter certain Pokemon very well. For example, a Morpeko, which is Electric Dark, is going to fare really well against something like a Jellicent, which is a Water Ghost. Dark beats Ghost, Electric beats Water, so you're just kind of in a bad situation if you're playing the Jellicent there. So what do? Well, you have the option to swap out of battle, but then your opponent also has a chance to swap and then get a better matchup. So you can either hope that you swap and then your opponent doesn't necessarily have something great to swap into and they stay in, or you stay in, let your Pokemon go down so that you can get a better matchup. As you start to rank up, you will realize that certain Pokemon are being played more than other Pokemon, and this is because they are meta. Right now, some of the meta Pokemon that I can think of, at least in the Great League, are Mimikyu, Licky, Tinkaton, Shadow Quagsire, Ninetales. There's a whole list of meta Pokemon in the Great League, and they just are that good. If you end up playing against some of these Pokemon and you're low level or a new account, you're most likely not going to beat them, and that's okay. But you should at least try to get experience while fighting them, so that later on, when you do progress in Battle League, you'll understand how these Pokemon work, what moves they have, and this is where I introduce the concept of move counting. So move counting is extremely important in Pokemon Go Battle League, and basically what it is every time you tap the screen to battle, your Pokemon uses a move, and it charges your charged energy. Each Pokemon will have a certain amount of charged energy that they have to build up with their fast move in order to release that charged attack. And you can count this to know when your Pokemon, or when your opponent's Pokemon, is going to use a charge move. This introduces the last concept of catching moves. So, for example, if your opponent is, let's say, Licky, which is a very meta Pokemon right now, it likely knows the move Rollout, and you'll see a big rock fly out of Licky. Once Licky throws 3 of these rocks, he has enough charged energy for a Body Slam. Once he gets to 4 rollouts, he has enough energy for a Shadow Ball, and when he gets to 5, he has enough energy for an Earthquake. So why does any of this matter? Well, we just counted Licky's rollouts to understand when he has moves. Knowing information like this is what wins you battles. If you're Jellicent like I am, then you understand that normal does nothing to Ghost, but Ghost does nothing to normal. So if you see a Licky use a move after 3 rollouts, you know that it's a Body Slam, so you don't have to shield it. However, if you see him use a move at 4, there's a chance that it's a Shadow Ball, or the Licky, which if they're smart, what they're doing is they're baiting with a Body Slam. Or it could be smart, or it could also be very dangerous. If for some reason the Jellicent player does not block the Body Slam, and instead just takes the Body Slam, Now the Licky Licky just lost energy and got barely any damage. This sums up my video for how you can get started in Battle League. If you guys want another video, let me know in the comments and I'll work on another one, because I'm sure there's more you can talk about to get better at Battle League, and I'm down to make another video.